Shalom Wadu family, it's Naazir Ra once again, author of The Hidden Self, The Hidden Power, and the Access Codes to Zion. And today we're going to do a reaction video to an interview that Elon Musk recently had that shares some disturbing facts about our reality and pretty much where humanity is going, our destiny. And the reason why I'm reacting to this video is because it sheds a light on it, adds a lot of weight to what I've been teaching for a long time. So let's go ahead and dig in and check it out. Elon Musk.
A time when the United States was not the world's biggest economy. Now we're heading towards a situation where China is going to probably have an economy 2 to 3 times the size of the United States.
Now, China have an economy 2 to 3 times the size of the United States. China is growing in leaps and bounds. And if you don't know, China is a communist country. It's extremely socialist, and when it gets to extreme socialist, now it becomes communist, where the government has total and complete control. They have surveillance cameras. They have facial recognition in the cities, and the government just has complete and total power in China. So I just want you to keep that in mind as we move forward in this video.
Destroy humanity. We have nuclear bombs, which could potentially destroy civilization, obviously. We have AI, which could destroy civilization. We have global warming, which could destroy civilization, or at least severely disrupt civilization. Digital intelligence will exceed biological intelligence by a substantial margin. It's obvious. We're not paying attention. We worry more about what name somebody called someone else than whether AI will destroy humanity.
And that's a big problem. We stay too much in our emotions, and I think that's largely by design. I think the media purposefully wants to engage your emotions, and it keeps you in a distracted mode where you can't see where the world is going. So this is what we have with the black against the white, the men against the women, the rich against the poor, all of these different skirmishes that we have, but we don't see what's happening on the big picture. Okay, so let's watch a little more.
That's insane. You're like children in a playground. Humanity really is not evolved to think of existential threats in general. We've evolved to think about things that are very close to us, near term, to be upset with other humans. And
that's exactly correct. They're similar to the Neanderthal. Neanderthals were a more primitive form of Homo sapiens, and they can only see but so far into the future. They only were concerned with how much food they can get for that day. They were only concerned with the threat that was right in front of them that day. And a lot of humans, we still have a lot of those Neanderthal ways. Lack of planning. What's your 5-year plan? What's your 10-year plan? Lack of seeing where this community is going. You see your community going down and you just stay there until the point it becomes a cesspool. So it's just a lot of things that to think about in terms of our species. And then when you add, like he's going to talk about, AI, which is super intelligence, to the mix, and then you have it in the hands of people that are not really, they don't really have humanity's best interests at heart, should I say, on a holistic level in terms of sustainability. So let's go ahead and just watch a little more.
And not really to think about things that could destroy humanity as a whole.
Excuse me, how could AI destroy civilization?
It would be something in the same way that humans destroyed the habitat of primates. I mean, it wouldn't necessarily be destroyed, but we might be relegated to a small corner of the world. When Homo sapiens became much smarter than other primates, it pushed all the other ones into small habitats. They're just in the way.
Couldn't AI, even in this moment, just with the technology that we have before us, be used in some fairly destructive ways?
So that's pretty much, I've read information that is leading to depopulation and pretty much crowding humans into inner urban areas. And the cloak of it is to preserve the habitat. We got to preserve the trees and the deer and the streams and push humanity into these compounds almost in these high rises. And we see it now because what's happening is, and I'm in real estate, so I see it. The price of a single family house is just so high that we're starting to see more and more townhouses. Even in suburban areas, instead of building a house, let's build an apartment complex. Let's build a mixed work use complex. So if that continues, you'll have these complexes along with the destruction of the family unit. What you have is isolation and human beings living in these cells, right? Or these boxes called apartments, or the next level from an apartment, a stone's throw from an apartment is a townhouse. So I've read that information and I see it actually going that way. It's very difficult for young people to purchase a home now. So let's move forward. It's all going to come together.
You can make a swarm of assassin drones for very little money by just taking the Face ID chip that's used in cell phones and having a small explosive charge and a standard drone, and have them just do a grid sweep of the building until they find the person they're looking for, ram into them and explode. You can do that right now. No new technology is needed.
That's a fact. They can actually, the military has drones that go on assassin missions right now. That's old technology. Obama was the drone king. He killed more people by drones attacks, innocent and quote unquote guilty people, with drone attacks. Did you know that? Absolutely. So that's old technology, and it just gets more and more advanced. Now they can have facial recognition to assassinate individuals or to whoever won't cooperate. So like I prefaced this earlier with China growing in its economy, growing in its dominance, right? Having influences into our politics, into our culture. I'm not sure if you heard about TikTok being used as a propaganda tool, possibly by China. So these are just things to think about. It's going to come together as we continue.
Right now, probably a bigger risk than being hunted down by a drone is that AI would be used to make incredibly effective propaganda that would not seem like propaganda.
So these are deep fakes.
Yeah, influence the direction of society, influence elections. Artificial intelligence just hones the message, looks at the feedback, makes this message slightly better within milliseconds. It could.
So what it's doing is studying you. Social media, I'm sure you know they use artificial intelligence they say that it's just used for marketing and to give you feed in your feed things that you seem to be interested in. So it puts it on your feed in suggestive videos. This is artificial intelligence. But the thing is, you don't really need artificial intelligence for that. That's just a regular algorithm. So the question becomes, what are you really using this advanced level of artificial intelligence for? And they're using it to gather information, to learn humanity, and to run tests on you. Certain things that happen, sometimes it's a test so the AI can learn how to control you. Propaganda, right? To steer you into a certain direction. It's all controlled by AI.
It can adapt its message and shift and react to news. And there's so many social media accounts out there that are not people. Like, how do you know it's a person, not a person?
Right.
One reason that regulators and others are a little bit in denial about this is
they're not in denial. They just don't want to talk about that. When you have the social media police, when they want to ban somebody, when they want to cancel somebody, the narrative is that all of these people with all these accounts start attacking that person. And people start, emailing or putting pressure on companies to not advertise with that company or not have that person be in a movie or whatever the case may be. Now we're seeing that this could very well be all fake. Who has time? This could very well be all fake and controlled by AI and those who are the handlers of AI. Do you understand? So when you have these, social police, they call it, and rile people up. It's usually some type of outrage, that's something that they said, right? Typically something that they said, or now, sometimes it's things that this person may have done 50 years ago or 30 years ago, such as Bill Cosby. Now it's just outrage, this whole Me Too thing. And I'm starting to see now that a lot of this is fake. A lot of it is fake, and it's controlled by AI. And it's as time goes by, it's seeming more and more like that. So be aware of that when you see people being attacked, and we don't know if it's real or fake. Elon Musk was under so much attack for purchasing Twitter. Just for people to, have their own opinion and express their opinion. And speak freely. And come to find out, a lot of the accounts are fake. A lot of accounts are fake. Someone might say, well, Naazir, how does that really mean the destruction of humanity? Because now you under mind control and don't even know it. Mind control and don't even know it.
The speed, the pace of change. What is the consequence of that speed of change?
The way in which a regulation is put in place is slow and linear,
Right.
and we are facing an exponential threat. If you have a linear response to an exponential threat, it's quite likely the exponential threat will win.
Correct. So what's happening is they're not checking AI. They're not putting the regulations on it. But AI is getting smarter by the day. And it has already surpassed human intelligence by leaps and bounds. So what happens is it's a absolute threat. And it's on a level that it could learn your psychology so fast, you won't even know to fight back. You won't even know what's good and what's evil, what's for our rise and what's not for the good of humanity. We won't even know because it will be so colluded. This is why it's so important that we protect free speech and free thought. It's so important because you're being guided and manipulated by artificial intelligence. Now, when we talk about the beast in 666, all of that feeds into it. It has many arms. This is why the beast it comes out of the sea. It has all of these tentacles and arms, right? One of the ways that they describe some of the archons, and these are fourth dimensional parasites. In religious terms, you would call it demons. They look like an octopus. All of these tentacles. Even in the Matrix, they called them sentinels and they had the tentacles, correct? And what that represents is has its feed in everything. It has its hand in everything, right? Banking, right? Your family, nutrition, the air you breathe, the water, education, just everything. All right, so that's it for now, people. I always say I leave my videos with a tool and with hope. And the tool of hope is understanding metaphysics. Because everybody on this planet is pretty much going down a certain stream together. As long as you think mostly like everybody else and behave just like everybody else, you're on the timeline stream of a chain of events that will take you to a destination. In order to get off that, you have to be revolutionary and do things almost opposite of that. Almost opposite of that, consistently. You have to almost live in your own world, right? Amongst people who have like minds, until you garner the strength and the frequency power to create your own timeline. The parallel earth theory states that every decision you make, it creates a parallel reality. Okay? And not everybody will experience the same reality the same way. It won't affect them the same way. So how you get off the timeline of destruction is by putting into action that which you know. And living it, staying steadfast in it. You can't waver to family pressure. You can't waver to the fact that, it's not healthy to be alone. It's not healthy to be to the extent that you are disconnected from certain people that don't have a certain level of frequency and awareness. Okay? It's very important that you understand that this is not just business as usual. This is actual war. Right? If you incarnated conscious in this day and time, you incarnated to experience warfare and to experience a graduation. You contracted and you elected to have an experience of glory. But you won't have glory unless there's no price to pay. You got to pay the price. So with that is, it takes you on a path where you may not have as many friends. You may not fit in with everybody. And this is where Hidden Power University comes in, because we provide that community. We provide the community in terms of our online community, but also in terms of our events and other things that are to come. But as things begin to become more apparent, more people will wake up. And that's what happens. You have to have, that's the dichotomy of the situation, because the more they push this, more people wake up. Okay? So that's it for now. Shalom Wadu, everybody. Naazir Ra, author of The Hidden Self, The Hidden Power. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.